Alright guys, today we're going to check out the latest gaming phone from Infinix. It's called the GT30 Pro. And the best part about this gaming phone is that it retails for just RM1299 and you're getting a ton of gaming-oriented features for that amount of very reasonable money. Anyways, we're going to head over to the table here where I can start off by showing you what actually came in the box. There's also going to be a free GT Pro gaming kit, obviously while stocks last. Now this comprises of a case and a cooler, which is actually pretty cool. I'm going to show it to you later on. And then we'll talk a bit about the gaming experience, the display, and all other things that you might want to find out about the device. So let's head over to the desk and check out a very quick unboxing. Let's go. Now it's worth noting that the GT30 Pro is once again MPL certified. That means this phone is actually being used for esports competitions. And you can already tell that based on the entire kit here that this is a gaming focused device. Now moving the box out of the way, notice that we do have a couple of accessories over here. Naturally, you do have your 45-watt charger, you also have a Type-C cable, and more importantly, you also get a very nice case in the box. Now this is not your typical transparent silicone case. We also get the GT Pro gaming kit. So how the cooler works is actually pretty straightforward. First of all, you need to attach the case onto your device. So once you've got the case installed to your device, the next step will be to power on the cooler. And by doing that, all you need to do is actually stick one side of the Type-C cable into the cooler and the other to a power source like so. Right away, you see that it lights up, it starts getting cold, and this is your indication to actually attach it to the back. Very, very simple. Right away, you'll notice that when you just pull it out from the corner on the left, you see an extreme mode, an icy cold interface appears. And that's because not only is the cooler cooling down your device, but it is actually powering up your phone as well. So it's being charged, as you can see at the top right corner, and this will give you that all-day full FPS experience. By the way, the cooler itself will also work with iPhones. If you are an iPhone user, you can actually attach it right away, you get a charge, and it will also help to cool your iPhone. Alright, so in terms of the colors, we do have three colorways over here. This is called the Dark Flare. And what's special about this particular design is that this uses RGB lights. Now moving on to this is called the Ash Gray, and you can see it's already in a darker tone of gray here. And last but not least, you have this really nice white kind of colorway here that feels just super premium. If you ask me, this would be my first choice. But yeah, let me know what you think about the colors. Which would you actually prefer? Now moving on into some gaming, let's turn on Mobile Legends real quick so you can see what you are facing with. Basically, if you go into the settings, you'll notice that we do have the Ultra frame rate and Ultra graphics supported on the GT30 Pro. So if I just go into my history over here, if I just go into my last 3 games, notice each of them was about 10 or 11 minutes. So for these 3 games, I did a very quick check for the battery and it actually dropped only 9%. And that would basically count up to about 3% per 10 minutes. So yeah, the battery is actually doing very good, and I was still able to get that full 120 FPS while I was gaming. By the way, the all-day full FPS is actually optimized with the Mobile Legends game, but obviously if you are someone who also plays games like Genshin Impact, it's also going to help cool your device down a lot, because you guys already know this game is pretty graphic intensive. But just a very quick note on Genshin, it can actually work very well. So you notice that I've actually got 60 FPS turned on. It's very, very responsive, and you can actually enjoy a very good experience on the Infinix GT30 Pro just by using this. By the way, you can also drag this out real quick to see more details over here. This is your X-Boost interface or X-Boost dashboard, where you have a lot of features in here. Now the first thing you want to do is actually turn on performance so you get to enjoy that 120 FPS. And if you just scroll down here, you'll be able to see more kind of features that you can actually use when you are gaming. For example, you can actually adjust the brightness over here. You can also go into esports modes, which will actually lock up the entire device so that it blocks away all your calls. No distractions there. Furthermore, if you just go further down, you notice that we have your touch optimization, and you can have even smoother touch control if you need that. Moving down furthermore, you see that we have your bypass charging. Now this is also very, very important when you have low battery. Now one thing that I really like is actually the magic voice changer. You can see that we have a lot of voices in here, so you can change your voice. You also have different light effects for when you make different things. For example, first blur, single kill, and kill streak, and that will actually affect the RGB lights that goes on at the back. Now moving further down, you also have your GT trigger. Basically, these GT triggers are on the top left and top right corner. They are touch sensitive. If you want to customize it, you can always go into the GT trigger once again, and notice that I have my access over here. I can just choose, like, for example, press, and move the button around to wherever I want it to press whenever I tap that button. I think the best shortcut is actually allowing you to buy things real quick. Maybe just check the scoreboard, and you can also add different kind of combos depending on your preference. Now, one thing to note about the gaming experience on the GT30 Pro is that because it uses the MediaTek Dimensity 8350 5G premium gaming chipset, you also have that MediaTek Hyper Engine gaming tag in here. That means it's just going to be reducing your lag, it's going to be reducing any kind of overheating, and overall you have faster response time and just a overall better gaming experience. Alright guys, so now that we've taken a look at what actually came in the box, the gaming kit and all that, let's take a look at some other features of the GT30 Pro. Now first up, let's take a look at the display. The display of this device is actually pretty good, not just because it gets very bright when you are outdoors. I also particularly like the fact that we have these really thin bezels that goes all around. It's not symmetrical, but it's actually still fairly thin to the point where it does look very immersive. Next up is also a 144Hz refresh rate, and like I showed you earlier on, it will support 120 FPS for a couple of games. Now, another thing that's worth noting here is in terms of the battery, we do have a fairly large battery in here. It's a 5500 mAh unit and it supports 45W fast charge with 30W wireless charging. Now, this is not something that you always see on the phone at this price point. Now, other than that, it also comes with dual stereo speakers on board, and in terms of the cameras at the back, you do have a 108 megapixel main sensor paired with an 8 megapixel ultra wide. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of sample photos here just for you to get some kind of reference. Now, that pretty much wraps up our very quick look at the Infinix GT30 Pro. Again, a very affordable gaming phone that comes with a ton of gaming focused features. If you're in the market looking for a new gaming phone and you don't want to spend a lot of money but you still want to enjoy that very strong performance, you might want to check out the GT30 Pro. Again, the gaming kit is while stocks last. And yeah, if you have any further questions, feel free to hit me down in the comment section below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching today's video all the way to the end. I hope you guys have a great gaming experience and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Do take care, stay safe, and bye bye.